really big takeaway quote right there. So now that you are in better health and you look incredible, how do you deal with those feelings? Do you have those feelings, the same feelings that inspired you to write the book in the first place, of feeling like you want to be with someone? And, because I'm wondering, I'm like, do you want to be in a relationship? Are you enjoying this process? Because you're really getting into your career in terms of the writing, and that's amazing that you continue to do social work, by the way.
So it's tricky because we're human beings, right? And there's that need. It's not going to go anywhere. The carnal need, it's going to come up. And not only that, there are just times you just need companionship. But it's so difficult to, that's a whole different conversation, a whole different interview altogether. But yes, there is that need. Of course, I'd like to be in a relationship, but at the same time, because I know what I want, if I'm not getting what I want, then don't even waste my time. A part of my book, so when I thought that I was physically ready to be in a relationship, I'm mentioning this because you talk about online dating. So I decided to swipe left, swipe right. Okay. And I tried online dating. I thought I met Mr. Right, the perfect guy. He had all the qualities that was on my checklist, right? He's tall, dark, handsome, has his career, has his own home, has his car, does not have kids. Perfect. Yeah. But then when I was talking to my mom, sometimes I need to listen. And my mom says, something doesn't feel right. You should just leave it alone. But because of my need to belong and because of that loneliness, I ignored it. And I saw all the warning signs too, but I ignored it. And this is so important. And I'm going to stare in the camera right now. If you are not physically, emotionally, spiritually, and financially ready, leave people alone. It goes both ways. Because I thought I was ready, but I wasn't. And it was a nightmare. And when I spoke to friends, they're like, okay, fine. The best way to find out what the guy's really up to is take him around your friends. And I took their advice, went to a party. I didn't drive. That was my mistake. I drove with him. And it just went sour. It just went left so easily. You go out with your girlfriends, you're having a good time, you're partying, you're dancing with each other and having an amazing time. And I guess because he was so intimidated and he was not sure of his manhood as well, he got so pissed to the point where he literally asked me, he's like, are you a lesbian? And in my head, I'm like, okay, fine. I'm just going to go home and delete that number and that will be it. But lo and behold, because I drove with him and we were away. So it was a good distance away from home. And after I realized what was happening, we decided to leave. My friends, we walked out. He was mad. He walked across the street. When he got to his car, he didn't even open the car door. He got in his car. He blasted his music. So me, the woman, of course, we're emotional beings. We want to talk about what happened. So I'm like, let's talk about this. And he started calling me out of my names, calling me a cunt, calling me a bitch, the whole 9 yards. We got on the highway and I saw apparently there was an accident. So I'm like, you know what? I'm bold. I said, let me out of your car right now. It's fine. And he ignored what I had to say and literally took me to just literally nowhere on the highway. He passed the crowd, passed everything, and just dropped me off on the hay. He's like, get out of my car. And of course, I got out of his car. And imagine now, right? Yeah. I'm dressed up in stilettos, really sexy black woman on the highway in the middle of the morning. Like this was like 4 o'clock-ish. It's dark. It's a secluded area. And of course, I was scared as hell, but I was happy to be out of his car because I didn't know how that would have escalated. And in my peripheral vision, I realized a man was standing behind me. Out of nowhere, this man showed up. And luckily, again, God, my guardian angel, a cop car drove up. I flagged them down, of course. They stopped. When they stopped, I went and explained what was happening. I had called an Uber. I called my girlfriend first, and she's like, calm down. We called an Uber, blah, blah, blah. So I sat in the car waiting. A car pulled up. Of course, I'm so anxious. I really want to get home. I'm like, I believe this was my Uber. Walked over to this man. By then, the cop cars left, only to realize that wasn't even my Uber. And I'm like, listen, mister, I'm not even getting in your car. You go about your business. So he left. Cops are gone. The man is still standing there in the middle of the highway. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like, I'm scared as hell, but I'm like, God, you got this. And I got this. And I just stood there and I'm like, okay, fine. I have my heels. I'll take them off and I'll knock the hell out of him if I need to. Luckily, my phone rang. I answered. It was my Uber, and she was the sweetest lady on the phone. She's like, where are you? I'm supposed to pick you up. She's like, I'll stay on the phone with you until I get to you. I got in the Uber. I got home safe.
Thank God.
So again, I want to share this because it's so important in the society that we live in, and because we've moved so much, there's this shift to online dating. You just got to be careful. And it's not even about online dating, because that could have happened if you had met this person on the streets anyway, but it's really about being in tune with yourself and being honest. And a lot of us are not honest. We're not honest.